Good evening, Kara. Do you have any news for us?
Yes, I do. So, former Blink-182 guitarist and living vessel for all manner of paranormal beliefs, Tom Delonge, will be hosting a History Channel series aimed at building a, quote, indisputable case for the existence of UFOs. The series, entitled Unidentified, Inside America's UFO Investigation, will include Delonge's interview with military intelligence official Luis Elizondo, who confirmed the existence of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program a few years ago. In other UFO news, a large, long, rectangular object was reported flying low over a highway in Georgia. It was, quote, glowing with various shades of bright orange through surface covered in octagon-shaped windows / exterior shell, said an eyewitness, who also said it was, quote, too massive and moving too quickly to be a balloon. Georgia MUFON chief investigator closed this case as an unknown aerial vehicle. In a very obscure story I found, 7 girls from a Bangladesh school were hospitalized for mass hysteria after they passed out in unison while singing the national anthem last Monday. Officials believe the hysteria may have been triggered by mental health or, quote, changes in weather. Turning now to sea monster news, there were 2 new sightings of the Loch Ness monster in 5 days, although this was not reported on in the mainstream press. A woman from Manchester claims to have snapped a photo of the beast, while an Irish tourist claims he caught an image of the celebrity cryptid on his webcam. Neither story has been confirmed, but that has not stopped a new outbreak of Nessie mania in the region. Finally, last week, President Trump retweeted a Pizzagate conspiracy theorist, a QAnon conspiracy theorist, and a conspiracy theorist who believed that the New Zealand mosque attack was staged to limit gun rights, in a historic bit of representation for the reality-averse everywhere. Back to you, Chauncey.
All right. Thank you, Kara. So, you know what? I like to work my way backwards through these things. Trump retweeting stuff is like, it's weird because, you know, Obama was really credited as the president in the campaign that sort of brought social media as a force to elections.
Sure.
But, man, Trump has taken it to a whole nother level where he is being... I can't imagine people looking at my postings so closely and, you know...
Right, yeah.
You know, I wonder if he's, like, reposting the Pizzagate going, oh, this is really cool, Dan, I like this one. My buddy Dan. That Dan, what's up? You know, it's like... Or if he's really just all... You know, Hillary obviously had the pizza sex ring, you know.
Right.
I don't know. I have a hard time with that one. How could anybody believe that there was a child sex ring in a pizza parlor? Now, if there was, I am totally like, that's pretty crazy stuff. That's pretty...
Right. But, yeah, there's no evidence whatsoever to support that idea.
Yeah, it's just just way over the top. And what were the other 2 that he was posting?
QAnon conspiracy theorist.
What's QAnon?
That's a guy. He posts lots of... QAnon as a person, but they post lots of very strange things and ultimately believe that the government is controlled by, what is it? I think it's some sort of cult full of, that, like, drinks the blood of infants.
Yeah. So wouldn't Trump be controlled by that? I mean, that's a weird thing for him to retweet.
Well, I don't know. He's like the Facebook grandma president. You know, he just posts crazy stuff.
Totally.
And
yeah. So yeah, every time my dad would call, I always knew it was him because I would pick up the phone and I would say hello, and then I would hear this, and then I'd hear a bunch of like beeping of buttons and stuff like that, and then he'd be all, hello, Chauncey? And I always knew it was him because I had to wait for the throat to clear and the beeping of buttons.
Sure.
And so, yeah, you know, I get it.
Right.
And Trump really reminds me of my dad. He does. He does. He has that same... My dad was the sort of guy who would have complimented the figure of the wife of the leader of France. You know?
Yeah.
I could hear Jared laughing from the... All right, and then earlier than that, mass hysteria. I always find this...
I love mass hysteria.
I find it so interesting because of, like... witch trials and
right.
The dancing disease or whatever
the
that
dancing
was.
plague. Yeah. I find mass hysteria just sounds so incredibly unconvincing as an explanation for all of these things.
Totally.
But it's like always more convincing than any alternative.
Yeah, I find mass hysteria really interesting because I don't believe in mass hysteria.
Exactly. That's where I am at. So
every time that somebody's just, it's mass hysteria.
It's okay, but what was it actually?
Right. There's a mystery afoot here,
And it's true. Mass hysteria, if you go to the Wikipedia article on it or something, that's the best just example I can think of. It's a real short article.
Right.
And it's just it's a phenomenon that's psychologists have said happens.
Right.
But it's like idiopathic fever. It's like, this is a thing we just don't. We have a term for it because we can't explain it.
Right, exactly. We can't figure it out, so this sounds good.
So, yeah.
And then rectangular UFOs. We got enough time to talk UFOs later, so I'm going to skip on to Tom DeLonge, even though that's UFOs, because
indeed,
I grew up as kind of a punk kid. I was into punk.
Sure.
And then the 90s hit, and punk got all skateboarder bro and football bro. And then Blink 182 came out. And so every time I hear Tom DeLonge, I'm just all like, I don't know. This guy's band's
it has nothing to do with his beliefs. It's
right.
Purely just on a musical level. You don't respect
right.
him.
Well, no, that's not it. It also makes me feel ashamed about myself because I got this buddy Chad who was the emperor of punk when we were kids or whatever.
The emperor of punk.
Yeah, the emperor of local
His
punk.
Majesty.
He's going to hate that I said that. Everybody else will laugh about it, But even now, he's all grown up and he's just all like, they're a pretty good band. They write some good songs. And I'm just all, man, if Chad can get over it, can't I get over it? Why can't I get over it? Chad's all grown up now, but I can't.
Maybe you just have more refined tastes.
I don't know. I don't think that's the case because I've come to the conclusion that I'm an anti-conformist, which is just
you're a contrarian.
I'm just a different kind of conformist. I conform
just to the opposite.
To the opposite, but I'm still a conformist.
I sure don't like putting babies on spikes. Well,
yeah. Well, here I am on the radio. I used to have a newspaper. It's like print was dead, and I'm all, maybe I should start a newspaper. And everybody's just all, radio's a dying medium, and I'm all, maybe I should start a radio show. I can't. I mean, here I am. Yeah. I'm doing it because.
Well, we're doing a conspiracy show, so if anything, it's an undead medium.
I like that. There's a T-shirt in there somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. You could do something with medium, because, we have mediums on.
Right, undead, medium,
a pun somehow.
All right, we're going to work on that.
Yeah, we'll have to workshop that.
All right, we're coming up on break here tonight. Our guest is William Pullett, and we're going to be talking about where, why, and how the most common places for UFO sightings to happen are.
I'm excited.
I'm interested to see when they happen, where they happen, and
why they happen.
I don't know if we're going to get that answer.
Yeah, we're not going to get that.
William's pretty pragmatic. All right, you're listening to Radio Wasteland. Come on back.